Dobrovic. What's good, people? I haven't been active on YouTube for a while now. Well, I have been semi-active, just dropping videos whenever I feel like. So, given that this year has been an utter madness, I thought I'd just jump on here and have a talk with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, drop your comments in the comment section. I'm gonna touch on a few different things. Let me know how you feel about it. Where to start? It's definitely with this COVID-19 situation. I don't know about you guys, but one of the statements that's been rubbing me the wrong way is the new normal. Like, I understand what the context meant initially, but I feel like it's being used as an excuse to prolong the COVID-19 measures. So I would say one thing that COVID-19 and a lot of other things that happened this year, but one thing that I would definitely recognize when the pandemic started is people really don't have the ability to look at things in a nuanced way. I would say people seem to be lacking a lot of objectivity, and also not really grasping the concept of objectivity fully, because like a lot of people tend to look at it as like you can be completely objective, which is not possible. You'll always have some kind of bias based on your personal view, based on how you see the world, right? But I mean, you can have a high level of objectivity to a degree. So I say that to say this. Have the COVID-19 measures been too much in most countries? I would say, talking about Britain specifically, anyway, you could argue that. But at the same time, it's like you got two camps. People are saying, COVID-19 is fake, it's not real. And then people are saying, we need to stay at home for the next 20 years, you know, or whatever they say, like, you know, like just taking it to the highest extremes, almost to the point where they're promoting this idea that, oh, this is just how we're going to live for, you know, the unforeseeable future, which is like, let's kind of try and figure a way to get out of this situation rather than just accept the new normal, right? I've personally gone through a lot of loss this year. I know a lot of people I know have gone through a lot of loss this year. So my mother passed away. Those of you who follow me would know that. It wasn't COVID-19, but she passed away during the lockdown, and like honestly, I feel like I was robbed. I was robbed of time, because obviously my mom was already on borrowed time, and then she was locked down in a hostel and not allowed visitation. I'm no doctor, but from my general perspective and also my general knowledge on the whole concept of palliative care, the lockdown didn't help the situation. And I would even argue it hastened her passing. I mean, I've spoken to a couple of doctors about it, and they tend to agree with me. I mean, like, the condition that she was suffering from, there's no cure for it. And after the original diagnosis, like, the top thing on the consultant's letter was the key thing for Diana is community. That's what's going to help her through the rest of her life, basically. So yeah, without drawing that out too much, I feel like I was robbed, and I feel like a lot of people who couldn't see their grandparents, couldn't see certain loved ones because of the lockdown rules. Like, obviously I understand why they were placed, but I don't think anything was managed effectively. I don't think it was managed effectively. There was, or at least it felt like, the rules were changing every other week. I understand, like, it's a new coronavirus that people are trying to figure out. I get that, but I find a lot of mishandling of how to approach the whole situation. And then, of course, when we were coming to the stages of getting out of lockdown, there was that whole mixed message Boris Johnson put out, which didn't seem to make any sense. Like, go to work, don't go to work, like, madness. So yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's been a trying time. So I hope anyone watching this who's gone through loss, know that you're not alone, and you'll come out the other side. Yeah, man. That's all I gotta say on that. And then of course we got the civil unrest that's going on right now, which is what I really wanna dig into. I did a podcast with my boy Harris about this, so that'll be dropping soon. I didn't have my trim, so I was looking a bit scruffy in the video, but whatever, it's irrelevant. What we were talking about is what was important. And again, going back to this idea that people seem to be able to look at things in a nuanced way. I'm really tired of this whole right and left debate when it comes to the civil unrest that's going on right now. It's like, this is not a partisan issue. How can you use what's going on right now to feed and promote your own narratives? Let's just have a discussion. Let's just talk as human beings and figure this shit out, man. Because all this left and right bullshit is not getting us anywhere. Like, I made a lot of statements on social media. Some that people see as left wing, some that people see as right wing, and I've had people come up to me. Well, not come up to me personally, but contact me on social media saying, like, you need to choose a side. No, I don't. What do I need to choose a side for? Like, if you're gonna make an argument about something, make it make sense. And if I feel like it makes sense, I'm gonna agree with you. That's how I see it. So talking about BLM specifically, Black Lives Matter. I don't think any logical person is in disagreement with that statement. Black Lives Matter. Where things are really getting muddy is, from speaking to a lot of people I personally know as well, people people don't seem to be aware that there's an official organization, Black Lives Matter. There's the statement, Black Lives Matter, which of course is then connected to the movement, which is not one cohesive thing, because obviously it's spread all over the world now, and so it's taken different shapes and forms. Like I said, me personally, I would not be donating to the official Black Lives Matter website. Tell us where the money's going. Tell us where the money's going. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, all I say to people, black people specifically as well, really sit down and read the website, man. It's all there. For me personally, there's a lot of red flags with the organization itself. And we're in this weird time period where you'll get attacked for just giving your personal perspective on something if it doesn't match up with what the perceived majority believe to be the correct way of thinking about things, which I just find completely ridiculous. Like, there's how can you have debate in that kind of mindset? Talking about Black Lives Matter UK specifically, you can't just make grandiose statements. Get rid of capitalism. How? Abolish the police. What are we replacing it with? Destabilize the nuclear family. Why? Like, I need more information, and the information that I am getting, I ain't kicking it. I ain't kicking with that, man. I'm not rolling with that, should I say? Like, whatever. The two ladies that started BLM, like, in America, openly say that they're trained Marxists. And when you go through the agenda, it's very muddy, and there's loads of other issues thrown in there, where you have to look at it and go, is this really about Black lives, or are you using the guise of Black Lives Matter to push this extreme left agenda? I would say it's the latter. But that's me. Like I'm saying, everybody has to come to their own conclusions. And I just say, before people come out and attack other people's opinions, go and do your research. Go and, like, read up on this shit. And then you make a informed decision and have an informed perspective, rather than just following what you perceive to be, oh, this is what people are saying is the right thing to do, so I'm just going to do it. Doesn't make sense. When you're like a chicken there, just, I don't know, a chicken following the breadcrumbs or something. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? It's a madness, man. It's a madness. So, in short, Black Lives Matter, absolutely. Like I said when I started this particular topic. Black Lives Matter, absolutely. Everybody with a logical brain cell in their brain, a logical brain cell in their brain, who isn't racist, of course, has no issue with that statement. I think like I said, where a lot of the confusion is coming from. Not all, because of course there's people who say all lives matter just to rebel against Black Lives Matter. But then, if your all lives matter, then you shouldn't be against the concept of Black Lives Matter. Not the organisation, but I mean the general concept of the statement. But like I say, there's two different things in not, I want to say in my mind, yes, in my mind, but like not just my mind, in reality. Anybody with any logic will see that once they start to dig deeper. There's Black Lives Matter, the actual statement, and there's Black Lives Matter, the organisation that are pushing a myriad of agendas under the guise of we're doing all of this for the advancement of black people. Nah. No get me with that one. No get me with that one. Which brings me on to another thing about this whole cancel culture. Like, what is this bullshit of cancelling everybody you don't agree with? Again, how do you have debate if that's the case? Now, of course, there's people you don't like, and you don't have to deal with them. Perfectly fine. But not only like we're cancelling people for shit they did 10 years ago. Alright, so I'm 35. I can think of myself at 25. Boy, there's a big difference between 25-year-old Nick and 35-year-old Nick. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, sure. I'm not a completely different person, but the nuances about me have definitely developed and evolved. Let's put it that way. So this idea of just cancelling everyone who does anything that doesn't fall in line with this so-called correct perspective that unfortunately I have to say that the left is pushing is nonsense. And the reason why I say unfortunate is I mean, first of all, I don't care. Like I said, I don't care about this left and right. I care about what can we agree on, what can we resolve, and how can we move forward from there, whatever your political position is. But why I say unfortunately when I say talk about the left is because I mean, as much as I don't personally identify with any political position, I also recognize that at least I don't know about now, because people are saying all kinds of wild shit now, but like definitely from the moment I started putting out any of my political views, people would have placed me on the left. I would personally say currently people would probably place me, at least logical people would probably place me on centre left. But of course there's people who say, oh, you're right wing based on particular statements that I've made in the previous couple of months. So just make it make sense, man. Fuck all this bullshit. Make it make sense. You want to have like, I'll give you an example of how the left is fucking up. I've seen shit online like milk is racist. Let's just sit with that for a moment. Milk is racist. Yeah, because it's playing into the whole concept of white supremacy. Fucking milk, you fucking morons. It's naturally white. What are you talking about? Like, if we just call everything racist, it diminishes things that are actually racist. I think that's what a lot of people on the left are not getting into their heads. Like, you want to paint everything as racist. When racist shit really happens, nobody's going to give a fuck. Because everything is racist, apparently. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, this is what I'm talking about, this nuanced view. Like, now you've got people saying that thing, white privilege is a complete myth. And then people on the other side saying everything, the whole world is based on white privilege. Nah, the whole world isn't based on white privilege. But also, white privilege isn't a myth. Like, it's like two opposing things, or two different arguments. Well, these are two completely opposite, but two. Let me say metaphorically, two sides of the coin can be both correct if given the correct context. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know growing up, certain things, clear prejudices, clear evidence of white privilege. Doesn't mean everything, like, you know, everything that is around me is governed by that. And that's where the left in particular puts black people into this box of being a victim. That's all you are. You're just a victim. You're the victim, and we need to help you. You need our help, and it's like, hold on. This is the funniest thing, like, because so all the racists are meant to be on the right, and all the really lovely white liberal people are meant to be on the left. But from my experience, there's just as many, if not more, racist people on the left. It's just packaged different. It's like, oh, I'm here to save you, but if you don't want my help, fuck you, nigga. It's like, hold on, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Let's have some honest debate. That's all I'm gonna say on that.